breaking? Yeah, I just want to do it. This is something that gives me the adrenaline rush. What triggered you?
I would say
It's home for you, but how did it actually become the home?
Well, it starts at home.
It starts at home, yeah.
It starts at home. You move the table and then you're practicing on carpet, just trying not to hurt yourself too much. And I think I was 14, 15 years old. And we had this friend named Sikandar Ali Shah.
Yeah.
He's helped, he's put his hand into rapping and everything, I think, at one time. He tried breaking also. Wasn't his thing, but he tried. And we used to practice in his garden. That was another very well-renowned training spot for EHD. What I'm really happy about is, even today, tomorrow, if I don't have this, I want ultimate discipline. That's all I want. Because if I have that, I'll never stop. So like I mentioned last year after the Redbull BC won Cypher, no one was practicing, no one was really excited about anything. And I think for 1 year, we were really quiet until this year. I feel like now the community is in a very positive place. And I'm going to do everything in my power because I think I have the opportunity to bring more awareness to my community. We need to have more jams. We need to have more battles, more sit-down sessions, especially like the community doesn't sit down with each other.
Say, Hamad, who's in the house?
So we have Mikhail in the house.
What's up, guys? What's up?
What's up, Mikhail? How are you, man?
All good, brother.
Yeah, by the way, congratulations on winning Redbull BC 1 Cypher Pakistan.
Thank you.
Crazy title.
It's over there. It's over there.
It's on EncycloMedia. Like, and by the way, it's fucking heavy. I don't know how you hold it when you were like, you know, up on the people's shoulder.
I told you I didn't hold it. I gave it to someone else because
Because
it's
you
too
were
heavy
scared
to hold it. I'm scared I'll drop it. Yeah. It's too scared I'll drop it.
All right, so Mikhail, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
so,
pleasure.
कैसे हैं आप? How's everything going?
सब ठीक ठाक यार. अब meaning अब तो training ही चल रहा है और कुछ नहीं चल रहा.
Nice.
Train hard.
Yeah.
But so what's about, you know, let's talk about Mikhail. Who is Mikhail? Yeah, I mean, like, let's talk about you and not about the journey. Like, you know, who's Mikhail? Uski routine kya hai?
Yeah,
And
tell
what does he
us
do
something
for the
about
living?
yourself.
Aur kya scene hai?
Mikhail, as a person, I'll tell you, I can put it very short, but I'll tell you my routine first. I work a 9 to 5 job,
Okay.
which is in the night. So 9 to 6, 6 a.m. I'm off, 6:30 I'm at practice. From 6:30 to 11 I train.
Wow.
From 11 to 1 or 2 o'clock I go home. That's when I'm cooking because I have to eat my own diet, so I cook my own food.
That's nice.
I got to do chores in the house. Safai, wafai, jaru, pocha, मैं ही करता हूँ. अपने
Guys,
कपड़े
if
काम मैं
you're
ही
watching
करता हूँ.
this, you know. This is the guy.
तो ये सब करने के बाद
So
जाके
where's
सोता
the
हूँ.
sleep? When do you sleep? Where's the
Sleep is
sleep?
between 1 p.m. and I'm guessing
Till 6, 7.
till 8, 9. Like
8, 9.
I'm very late to work usually.
I see.
कोशिश यही
Creative
है.
ones do that thing.
Yeah.
यही scene है.
I'm glad, man.
All right, nice. So, apart from that, apart from your work, tell us something about your journey, your passion.
Yeah, like, when did you, since obviously this is now, like, let's go way back.
All right, let's do one thing. Well, how do you actually define this breakdancing? In your words, what is B-boy? What is breakdancing?
Firstly, don't call it breakdance.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's rule number 1.
Yeah,
It's
it's
only
breaking.
called breaking.
Breaking, yes,
Breakdancing
sir.
is a commercial term used for it, which is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
It's only called breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I would define it in the best way that it's home.
It's home. Yeah.
It's home.
That's your
At this,
definition.
yeah, it's home.
Perfect.
I don't feel a day that if I don't practice, my training feels incomplete, my day feels incomplete. There's a guilt factor that why didn't you practice today?
Holy.
And if there's not a good enough excuse, there's really no excuse. Kya bahana doge?
It's part of you now.
It's part of me.
Wow.
It's always been 15 years, bro.
15 years. So let's go
years.
15 years back. And yeah, let's start with like, let's just not, okay, when did you start it? When did you figure it out, okay, this is breaking and this is happening in Pakistan? Or where did you saw this breaking and when
So
did
I
it start
was-
happening?
I was always fond of dancing.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, we have our parishes, our churches. We used to have talent shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So from the age of 6 or 7, I'm already dancing. Of
Yeah.
course, not thinking professionally
What
at
kind of
all.
dances? Like there were different genres?
Yeah, Bollywood mostly that time. You know, I remember performing the first time in my life on Gori Gori, the Mehuna. Yeah, the song from Mehuna.
Yeah.
At that time, when I was 6, 7 years old, and my mother used to like have to run around a lot with me because I was always forcing them to let me go and dance. So ye scene tha, and around the age of 12, 11, we're talking 2007, 2008. Around this time frame, I watched Step Up 2, and the inspiration was there because B-boy Luigi was performing in Step Up 2. In Step Up 2, they call him Monster. So I watched him, and I knew this is it. I started practicing from there. Then, of course, I met more people. My brother was in the school, St. Paul's. So he knew more
St.
B-boys.
Paul's?
St. Paul's, yes. So he knew more B-boys there, like Joshua Thomas, Joel DeCuna. They were all from there. He showed me videos one day they performed in school. He showed me those videos. Now I knew there were more people than me. Then I used to live in a compound where everybody used to practice. We all used to practice. We were like 10, 15 boys. We were all practicing breaking, and we were getting better really fast. We were
Nice,
catching up to the generation before, not generation, but I'll say the people who were doing it months before us, we were catching up to them already.
Wow.
And then word got out that these B-boys are out here. And eventually I got to meet more people like Dwayne Lucas. The first time I met him, he came and called me out for a battle. That's how I
So
met
what
Dwayne.
exactly-
12-year-old boys battling each other.
I
that
remember
age.
like from the previous podcast with Dwayne, we were talking about, and this it was in the middle of his journey that he told us that he found you practicing in that compound with your
Yeah.
friends and mates.
Yeah.
So what was it like? Where did you find these mates? They were already practicing in the compound, and
We were all friends. These are all my childhood friends who I grew up with in my in that compound. So
Okay.
I moved to this compound when I was 6, 7 years old. So I knew these guys from that time till the age of 10, 12. I mean, even Dwayne's a childhood friend.
Yeah.
But Dwayne came at a stage where I was like exiting and entering the teen years. And these guys I know when I was 5, 6 years old. So there were like 10, 15 guys who were all
okay.
training with me at the time.
wow. So like
That's the
if you talk about that, like what were the basic fundamentals? Like what were the basic techniques that you started off with?
Very honestly, in that time, there was no sense of technique, fundamentals,
Okay.
or anything. Like, let's take Taishi, for example. He's very fortunate. He trained with a known crew. And Kevin and everybody was very aware of techniques, like the skill, the top rock, what you need to do, the groove, the funk. These people knew this stuff. When we were training, there was no technique.
figure
It was
it
just figure something out, try to get the best move, learn the best next move, and just keep moving forward. We wouldn't even fix the moves. We just try to learn them. We got this. Okay, next move now. That's how it was when I was training. And Dwayne will pretty much tell you the same thing. Because we didn't know this stuff. And we had no one teaching us. Half of what I had learned by the time I met Dwayne was from YouTube. And the guys who were learning with me, even they didn't know anything. We all started from scratch watching YouTube.
Nice. You guys
Nice,
basically
nice.
are visual learners. That
Yeah.
You guys learn from YouTube. That's crazy. Yeah, like
So you started off when you were 7 years old, and you grew up in your compound. You grew up with dancing in your compound. What exactly triggered you to start with this dancing?
With breaking.
Like, you
the
wanna
breaking?
do
Yeah, the
it,
breaking.
yeah.
Yeah, I just want to do it. This is something that gives me the adrenaline rush. What triggered you?
I would say
It's home for you, but how did it actually become the home?
Well, it starts at home.
It starts at home,
It
yeah.
starts at home. You
Yeah.
move the table,
Yeah.
and then you're practicing on carpet, just trying not to hurt yourself too much. And the biggest adrenaline rush I got from breaking was the battle. When you
Oh.
battle with another person, it's like football.
Yeah.
It's like playing soccer. You're
Yes.
out there.
You can relate with
You
that.
want
Yeah.
to kill the next guy.
But
You know?
as long you're competing.
You're
yeah,
competing.
You're
It's
competing.
friend.
Whenever
Yes,
you're
yes,
competing, so you just want to do
It's
it.
good competition.
Yes.
There's nothing negative about it.
Yeah.
The next guy in front of you, you just want to finish him. But I have more to this because my brother used to play football. And I was growing up with an elder brother. I'll tell you, I always wanted to do the opposite of what my brother was doing. So my brother used to play football. I wanted to try something else. My brother was a DJ and still is. So I wanted to do something else. And in the midst of finding that something else, I found breaking.
That's
My brother used to
yes.
try to break too at that time. Of course, he stopped, but I didn't stop. And I said, this is my thing. I feel like this is my thing. So that's how it became home, bro.
Wow.
Yes,
I didn't turn
nice.
back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
We move forward towards that, like since Dwayne found you in the compound, like that was your very first battle with Dwayne, right?
First battle with Dwayne. I had battled amongst the
With your
people in my
mates.
compound, yes. But that was my first battle with Dwayne, and me and Dwayne hated each other's guts. I don't know if Dwayne will tell you all the truth. Yeah, we were.
I guess Dwayne said that
did not
I
get
see
along.
something in this guy when we first competed in the compound. I guess this
But
is this guy something.
me and Dwayne did not get along at all. And
Still
I think-
now, still?
No, now of course not. But
yeah.
this is back. This is way back then. He's 13. I'm 12 years old. I mean, we don't know any better. And along the line, Dwayne broke his hand somewhere. And I remember going to, and then I joined Dwayne's school. I was in a different school. I joined the same school.
Okay.
And लोग पढ़ाई करने जाते हैं. मैं स्कूल में डुएन को ढूंढ रहा हूँ ताकि मैं उसको हरा दूं बैटल में. Because back then he beat me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta get him back for this loss.
I came from another
So
school.
the breaking actually runs in the veins.
Yeah, bro. So you get there, and then I meet Dwayne, and I saw his hand was broken. On some level, I was like, okay, this is. Now I feel like I kind of felt a little bad for him at the time. And then we started hanging out, we started practicing. And then, I mean, it's 15 years now. We have an unbreakable bond, me and Dwayne.
Amazing. Man.
It's very true.
Beautiful.
Still a long way to go.
So, this is where did you join the EXD group as well?
So that time it wasn't EXD. There were a lot of other names for crews.
Okay.
The crews names were Grenades. There was Triple X crew. There was
Nice, yeah.
we were Raiders crew at one time.
Okay.
This is when I started practicing with Dwayne. Of course, I joined the crew that he was in, and then I made him leave the crew he was in because I used to come from Kant. These people and this whole crew was in Sadar. And one day I came for practice. It was an early morning, and the rest of the crew guys couldn't get out of their house. Not their fault. Their moms weren't allowing them or something. Their grades were slipping or something. And me and Dwayne were standing downstairs. And
Waiting for the guys.
we're looking up at those guys and we're like, come on down. We have to go for practice. And they're like, our moms aren't allowing us. And I look at Dwayne and I say, these guys aren't serious, man. Let's ditch them.
Holy.
And instantly, like, he didn't think twice. He said, okay, let's ditch them. We ditched them. And we already knew Brandon.
Yeah.
But Brandon was, skill-wise, Brandon was a little weak. We took Brandon on. And so that three came together there. And then we just found 1-2 more people. Hendrik Williams. He's passed away now. And you have Dwayne Heckles. And we formed Raiders crew. And then we started competing, battling with these guys who were Dwayne's old crew. We're beating these guys. And that's how it just went from there, bro. That's how me and Dwayne formed one crew. Eventually, of course, I stopped even battling, even like staying in that crew with Dwayne and all. But then I found my way back to Dwayne and all after a few months. So that happens too, yeah.
So I would love to know, where did you guys figure it out, like EXD crew? Where did that come
The story
from?
I know of EXD crew, I'll tell you. So I wasn't around them when EXD became EXD. There was Donald, Brandon, Dwayne Heckles, and there was Gavin John. He's also passed away, just by the way. They had met in theatre plays in Bombay Dreams. When Donald and Dwayne did Bombay Dreams, they met Gavin there. They joined and they named it Evolution Extreme. So just EX, there's no D at this point. Donald later on said there used to be this dance TV show or YouTube series called LXD, Legion of Extraordinary Dancers. They got the idea from there to add the D to EXD, making it Evolution Extreme Dancers. So that's how EXD came. Then these 5 guys were always together. They were actually a whole crew, and I was practicing on my own in Frayall or something with a couple of my friends. That's it.
Okay.
And how I joined EXD was, so EXD at that time had only 5 people. Then they grew to like 20, 15 people. They had a lot of people in the crew. That just shows you how many B-boys you have in one place, that there are 20 people in one crew only.
That's crazy.
And over time, what happened was Act 1 Planet B-Boy came.
Yeah.
And Dwayne, Donald and Brandon felt like the whole crew was not on their level. And they wanted to take some other members. So they picked up an OG B-boy named Joshua Thomas.
Okay.
He goes by the name Larry. And Dwayne called me after 5-6 months of not speaking, because me and Dwayne used to fight a lot. Getting along was really troublesome for us at the time. You're young, you have young blood, you fight a lot. So he called me up and he's like, we're putting in 5 people for Act 1 Planet B-Boy. Do you want to join? I was going to go in solo anyway, but then I was like, okay, we'll go with the crew. It's a better idea, more chances of winning.
Yeah.
I went in with them, and the first practice, they all hate me, except Dwayne. The rest of the guys, even Brandon, who's my friend, does not accept me at this point in time. Like I was one of the most hated guys in my own crew. और क्या and battle tournament शुरू होने में सिर्फ 1-2 हफ्ते बाकी है bro. और ये scene चल रहा है. और मैंने बोला बस I'm not managing to coordinate with these guys. I'm in no crew routine. एक भी routine में इन लोगों ने मुझे अपने साथ नहीं रखा. एक भी routine में मुझे आगे नहीं रखा. It was just them and I was.
At this point of time, you were just getting along with Dwayne.
Just with Dwayne.
Yeah.
And like I was bullied as a kid. So I was like a thin B-boy amongst them. My skin tone and thin, you're asking for trouble. So my crew was my first bully. I mean, they still did it in a very friendly way. I never felt bad when they did it. But it was not easy dealing with so many people who have negative vibes towards you.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, something's got to change.
Would love to know how, like, since we talked about the Act 1 Planet, and we would love to know, okay, how was the experience going with the crew at Act 1 Planet?
Act 1 Planet B-Boy was a different experience because, so the guy who organized Act 1 Planet B-Boy, his name is Hassan Danish. I met Hassan 3 to 4 months in advance when I did a flash mob at Indus Valley. And there was this one spot where people were just performing and I started breaking. Hassan spotted me there. He called me for the opening of Act 1. I met him there. And I feel like that's where the idea for Act 1 Planet B-Boy clicked with him because he saw that there is a B-Boy out here and there's a scene. Because when he asked me, I told him about a lot of other people. He got in touch with Joel Dicuna, Vernon Yu Chong, Ansley Patrick and all and organized Act 1 Planet B-Boy. And when I went through with Dwayne and all the battle, again, battling with the crew is a different experience.
It is.
It's 10 times, the best part is it's 10 times more fun. The battle has to be fun. You have to have a good time. It's 10 times more fun and we were very young, so we were very competitive. We had no other option than to win. We didn't think that we were going to lose. We said we have to win this tournament. There's no choice.
There's no choice.
So every round for us was the last round. And at that time, there weren't a limited number of rounds or a time limit. You were just going. You don't know when the battle's going to end.
Yes.
Until they don't decide it's ended, it's not ending. You keep going.
Yeah.
We had it was a different experience. I mean, all the way till the end, I didn't even know if we will win. When we were in the finals, even I didn't know we were going to win.
When was the B-Boy Lilu and B-Boy Pellegrino workshop?
That's 2 years later.
That's 2 years
2013,
later. In 2013.
When Pellegrino and Lilu came down for the workshop.
Okay.
The first time we thought maybe BC1 is got its eye on Pakistan.
Finally.
Yeah.
That was the time. Like,
that was the time.
Like I skipped between the years part, but we would love to, we will talk about the workshop, about the B-Boy Lilu and the B-Boy Pellegrino. That experience we would love to know because a lot of people credit that it was an amazing experience.
I know.
We will talk about that later. But before that, since you joined the crew and right? And through that, like when did you start you started guys like working on the routines and like I remember EXG being crazy with the routines, like they come up with the most craziest ideas, and you're like the back flips and the front flips, and you're like going all over the places. Like Dwayne and you, like you guys are like very crazy with the flips. So tell us about that.
I think EXG's advantage was the fact that we could flip because no other B-Boy crew could do it at the time.
Yeah.
We were ahead of the game in the sense that we could flip, and again, Dwayne was a very diverse leader. He was not just open to breakers; he would involve any and everybody. So he welcomed poppers, hip hop freestylers, people who knew locking. No one knew locking, but I mean, he was very open to welcoming any dancer who he felt belongs with his crew. Over the time, we even invited those people. We have Syed Saad, Sid.
Yeah.
Sid is an EXT member. Cyril Soul James, who went to Redbull Dance Your Style.
Yeah.
He's from EXT crew. So these guys, it's mostly Dwayne's leadership skill at that time that he knew that we need this diversity.
And the best part is so young.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So young, man. Like if you talk about it, they're like
He's always has that, you need to have that thing to be a leader. He's always had that.
Like a born leader, you can say. Like meant to be.
Yes. He was meant to be a leader.
Beautiful.
And he led us to victory. We are Pakistan's first breaking champions ever.
Wow.
If you go back in time, 2011 it's
you guys
only
were the
EXT.
one.
EXT was the
first.
one.
Amazing. And then let's moving towards the best part. Like, did you guys knew that that B-Boy Lilu and B-Boy Pellegrino were coming towards the workshop? How did you guys were prepared for it? What was the excitement behind it? And I would love to know about the experience of that workshop as well.
There's a lot of backstory to this. So we had to level up the next year. After 2011, we won. 2012, we had to level up because Code Unknown crew got really good, which is
B-Boy
Psycho Sense, B-Boy Oh Shit. Kevin Tyler Christie,
Rock 7.
one of the best B-boys in Pakistan, hands down. They got so good that we were forced to level up. And at that time, everybody knows it was just CXD and UC. Nobody else was in our league.
Oh.
We know that for a fact. It was just CXD and Unknown Crew for the longest time. So in 2012, when we were leveling up, and of course, we lost a lot to Unknown Crew. They lost to us very less compared to how much we lost to them. But that whole 2012, Unknown Crew took it with a streak. So every time they beat us, we were just trying to get better. Like I mentioned earlier, the battle makes you question your own capability. You need to know that you need to get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So along these lines, when Unknown Crew started having events, they started having their own jams outside of Act 1 Planet B-Boy. They started getting shout-outs from B-Boys from foreign countries.
Oh, nice.
Like Rock's
Great.
Right. And there are a few more, I don't remember their names. There are a few more B-Boys from them who gave shout-outs to Pakistan at that time. We're talking 2012.
That's
So the foreign community already knows there's a scene in Pakistan. So these guys acknowledged us on some level. Brave Monk came down all the way from the US, gave a workshop to EXD and Known Crew in Act 1. Yeah, I wasn't there for that, but this happened.
okay. This happened.
All this happened, and over time, Kevin Christie got in touch with Red Bull Pakistan. At the time, they were very small. They had a small office in Forum. And he was pitching them for his events. He was talking to them about BC1 workshops. I'm not sure what exactly he spoke to them about, but he had a lot of insight into trying to make something happen.
Okay.
So Kevin did a lot of running around for
Back in
this.
2012, you're talking about
Yeah.
this.
Between
I mean-
2012 and 2013, Kevin did a lot of running around
How
for
old
this.
was he?
At that point of
If
time.
I'm 12, if I'm 13, 14, I mean, how old is he, right?
12,
What?
15, 16.
Yeah,
And that
around
guy's
15
talking to
years,
the brands
yeah,
already.
they're talking to
That's
Red Bull at this.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was the scene. So we had a couple of meetings with Red Bull. I remember attending one, but like I didn't pay so much attention because I was like, something is happening, but I don't know what. During this time, EXD in 2013 or 2012, we went on a show called Chai Toast and Host. And I'll bring this story back to that later. But when we did that show, I had started messaging Red Bull from here. From just sliding into their DMs, right? Just trying your best, okay,
Because-
get some exposure. And they had shared our video also. Back then in 2012, Redbull BC1 shared our video. And I was getting in touch with this guy called Nika. Maybe I'm pronouncing his name wrong, so I apologize for that in advance. But I was speaking to him on Facebook Messenger. There was no Instagram.
Yeah.
And he told me that the Redbull BC1 workshop of Lilo and Pelazino is coming to Pakistan. So I already knew it's coming.
Okay.
I don't think I had any efforts to play here. I'm very sure Kevin had a lot more to do with it. And then, of course, the Red Bull team. But I had the insider information. Nika already told me. And then I guess we waited a few more weeks or a few more months. There was a Facebook group made, not an event page, a group. And everyone was added there. Red Bull informed us that they're coming. And you wouldn't believe, we were up all night the day before the workshop. 7 a.m. We were up all night, and 7 a.m. we were getting ready. And around 10 in the morning, I have never seen anybody show up for anything so early in the morning in Karachi. 10 a.m. If you had come to Max
This
School,
is what happens.
there was a line, like a queue
Shit.
of just B-boys outside.
Oh, crazy.
No one extra.
Crazy,
Just B-boys.
crazy.
All standing waiting for Lilo and Pelazino. There were so many people that they couldn't conduct one workshop. They had to separate the groups and have 2 workshops at a time. So they had one,
my word, yeah.
finished off with that group, put that group back inside, started with the other group of people. Finished off that group, then everybody came in and started, like ciphering and battling together. But there were so many B-boys at
So
the time.
that's when you guys
Had to
came to know
separate
that we have a lot of B-boys in the town.
I think we already knew, but that many people in a small space, that many
Yeah.
people in a big space, it's no big deal. But that many people in a small space, you realize, oh, the numbers are huge, man. And I'm saying just B-boys. No rappers, no beatboxers, no one else.
No one else. Yeah.
Since we were talking about the unknown crew, यार वो क्या सीन है तुम जौहर आओ या तुम सदा रहो
Oh, ये भी बताना है.
ना वो गेम तुम जौहर आओ नहीं तुम सदा रहो यार वो तो बताओ
यार, again, I've received very less threats.
Yeah.
ये तो मैं बोलूंगा very honestly. But my crew has. So I don't know if it was some specific battle, but it's happened a few times. There was once a judge all the way from Sador Kant. His name is Errol Wilson. Also EXD member, Freestyle Blood member. He came to judge in Johor and he was told कि तू bro vote सही देना तू Johor में है आज. And Kevin Tyler Christie winning battle after battle after battle, lost at this tournament.
Oh.
That's more than enough information, I think so.
सही है.
ये जौहर आओ बहुत बोला है, हमने कभी सदर आओ नहीं बोला है, किसी को नहीं बोला होगा, लेकिन ये जौहर आओ मैंने
बहुत हुआ है,
सुना
ये बहुत हुआ है, right?
बहुत, yeah,
Johor
too much.
आओ.
Johor is actually Farhan Biryani. That's it.
I don't know what that is, man.
That's Biryani.
Okay. But यही सीन है ब्रो, ये बहुत सुना मैंने. तू जौहर में है, तेरे को पता है ना तू कहाँ है, ये बहुत सुना है.
I even heard EXD वाले गए भी थे जौहर, फिर कुछ हुआ ही नहीं था वहाँ पे. मतलब they went there a couple of times to practice with them. Yeah.
There's this park somewhere next to
Johor Park,
Millennium or
Euphoria
something.
Park.
Yeah,
Euphoria Park.
That's
Yeah.
Chemistry Cruise Park. They used to
Yeah.
practice there.
That's
So we
Euphoria.
went there couple of times, practice, battle. Nothing ever happened.
No.
लेकिन I guess event नहीं था तो शायद इसलिए.
I guess वो सिर्फ एक, I guess it's just it's a metaphor कि तुम जौहर आओ जौहर,
I
just
think
used for a metaphor.
This is the best part of being a breaker, or like you like go competitive, not with just words. Like you like to provoke someone with the words, and like if you go talk about what it's called bodybuilding, right? तो उसमें भी अगर कोई compete कर रहे होते तो आपस में they talk words out with the to put them down.
Put them down.
Yeah, to put them down, yeah.
I think that's
But
what
it's
people do.
like that's what you do. You try to dominate the other
the
group
other
or the
person.
person. That's how
Yeah.
you do it. Yeah.
So-
You actually use the
In breaking,
metaphors.
it's a very good technique. You try to psych the next person. क्योंकि वो
Exactly.
डर के मारे कुछ सही नहीं कर पाएगा.
Yes.
Because again, it's all on your body, right?
Yeah.
If you slip up even once, the next guy is going to take advantage of it.
Yes.
और सबसे पहले ही आता है. On the
Crash.
ground.
Yeah, because breaking is actually one of the most difficult, or I would say the most difficult form of dancing. Yes.
Even I believe so.
Belly dancing is one of is also really.
I think ballet itself is a difficult art form, but I think breaking's right up there with it.
It's
Because
very
it's not
different,
just
yeah.
dancing. It is dancing, but then you have the athletic side to it, which
Exactly.
is a whole other ball game.
Yeah,
It makes it very
yes.
difficult.
It's very difficult.
And then you have to dance and perform those moves.
So,
Yeah.
like if I ask you how many times did you fracture yourself and how many times did you
I
fracture
have-
your bones?
I have, I think, 6-7 fractures.
Seriously.
I never broke anything. But I have 6-7
Yeah,
fractures.
That's great. That's
And in the
great.
worst places. So I have 2 rib fractures, 2 in each wrist, 2 on each palm, 1 in the knee, and 1 in the elbow.
Okay.
Oh, 1 shoulder dislocation. But that happened during a performance. So yeah.
Oh, damn.
Like all that happened during the practices, or like during
Some during practice, some honestly just friends messing around with friends.
So what makes you kept going? Like what makes you kept going? Like
Yeah, even I can't explain this. There was no big scene to look forward to.
Exactly.
There was no big scene. Like I said, it's just home.
You guys
just
are
came.
connected. You just are connected differently
Like
to
you're sitting
this
at home.
breaking. Yeah.
You're sitting at home 5 days a week. On the 6th day, you're like, let's go for practice. That's how it was. You always felt like doing it. It was never forced. It was never imposed. It was your decision. मतलब घर वाले तो रोकते थे ना इस चीज से, बोलते थे गर्दन टूट जाएगा, ये टूट जाएगा. तो ये सीन है.
So like if we talk about since winning the Redbull BC Cypher 1, let's just not talk about that. If you go back in time, like still we're in that past, and if we go like talking about यार पाकिस्तान में Redbull BC Cypher कब आएगा, and talking those and motivating each other, what did it felt like? What were the most important conversations if you ever had, if you remember any kind of that like Dwayne यार बस हो गई, आ जाए अब कुछ हो जाए, क्या करना होगा, something like that conversation.
One of the most real conversations we had was, again, I think I was 14-15 years old, and we had this friend named Sikandar Ali Shah.
Yeah.
He's helped, he's put his hand into rapping and everything, I think, at one time. He tried breaking also. Wasn't his thing, but he tried. And we used to practice in his garden. That was another very well-renowned training spot for EXD. So it wasn't just his garden. We were very good friends with him. So we used to spend nights in his house. हम एक दिन एक overnight के scene में, we're staying all, and we're all lying in one room. Sid, Cyril, Brandon, Dwayne, Morris, and myself. We're all there in that one room. And we're all asking each other, what do we want to do with this dancing? Because at this point, we're already like 3 years. 3 years in as a crew, 4-5 years of already, doing it. Like 5-6 years, 8 years in, you're already getting tired.
Yeah.
And you're like, and we're just having a heart-to-heart asking each other, what do you want to do? So I asked Dwayne, of course. Dwayne said he wants to go to IBE, which is a massive breaking hip hop festival in Holland.
Oh,
And he said, I want to go to
wow.
IB and I want to compete with my crew while representing Pakistan. So he wanted to do that. Back then, he was talking about this. And we went around the room. I don't remember everyone's answers. I remember Dwayne's very clearly. And
What was yours?
I said, I want to win the Redbull BC 1 Pakistan Cypher. Back then. This is 2013. But 10 years later. And it happened. Yeah.
Shit.
And now, what about right now? What's keeping you? Kya cheez hai that's making you go along the road?
So I'll be very honest. Last year after I lost, so I lost in the first round.
Yeah.
No shocker. New kid came in, Aliyan. Really good breaker, really good. Aliyan's amazing. I think he's the future for Pakistan.
Wow.
He's probably your next champion.
Big words,
If not
man.
next year, maybe the year after that, but he's your next champion. He just needs some work. But I lost him in the first round. And I remember backstage, I met him and he asked me, kya scene hai? We do these kinds of things. We talk to each other, we try to psych each other. He's like, kya scene hai? And I met him in the bathroom and I told him, you will win today. And he asked why. I said, because I'm not ready. The tournament ends. I start practicing immediately. Even the night of the tournament that ended, we were breaking on the streets that night. There's a video of me, Khudesh, and all breaking at CSD, this chai place next to Goda Kabristan. So we're breaking over there and I start practicing every day. I'm practicing like 3, 4, 5 days a week. I round up to 210 days. I've said this, I think, a bunch of times now.
Yeah.
I've trained 210 days already within this time frame. And when I met Aliyan again this year, and backstage we were talking, and he said, "Kya scene hai?" So I said, "We'll go out there and we'll put on a show, and then we'll see who wins."
Nice.
Nice.
That's good words, man.
I was ready, man. Because the night before we had the workshop in Nagin, Friday, and me, Masoom, and Aliyan were standing, and I remember one of them asked me, "Ke, what was your scene last year and what is your scene this year?" Some very similar question, and I turned around and I said, "I'm ready this year." But throughout this, I didn't think I would win. I just said, I'm ready. Like, I'm going to put out a good performance. The goal was perform well.
Not about winning.
It wasn't about winning. Perform well and have fun doing it.
That's the
And I
best
think
way.
that's all I did that whole night.
So since go ahead.
So do you think like when you do the breaking, I know there are like other dances that connects to your soul, but when it comes to breaking, it's a different kind of art, right? And it's more like an athletic art rather than flexibility. More like I want to say the flexibility. Obviously, breakers obviously have the flexibility.
Yes.
They you fractured your freaking bones. That's crazy. It's more like not like moving with like this way, like more like going athletic way. So I want to know, how do you connect your soul while breaking? I want to say dancing now.
So I feel as a breaker, so there's styles of breaking too. There's not one form of breaking. You have style heads, you have power heads, you have tricksters. Maybe I'm saying a few words wrong out here, but they are these styles.
Okay.
So each kind of style performs in a different way. So at the time when I started, and I'm saying these words knowing that I'm not at a very high skill level, but I used to mostly do power moves, and I still do. And that became a very good base for me. Like, I know I can't mess that up.
Yeah.
I know that's my safe bet. Whereas power moves is no one's safe bet. Everyone's safe bet will be top rock, footwork. Only a power head will be safe with power moves. So that's my safe side. The soul, the connection, the funk, what I feel when I perform, that comes when I'm basically standing up straight, top rocking or footworking. That's the time I have the energy to feel it.
Nice.
Power is the exclamation point. That's like, yeah. Okay, now you.
This
You take
is
the-
where
you take
the
the show,
this is the way brain
take the
start
show,
working.
Yeah. Before that, it's turned off. You're like, let's just go, have a great time,
Move.
and get out. That's it. That's every time, man.
Since we're actually talking about this breaking is so athlete. So what do you do for your fitness regime? Because I think that you're quite keen into fitness. So how do you keep yourself fit, and do you have any specific diet or something? How do you keep up on that?
So I practice fitness. I've been practicing fitness and nutrition for 5 years now on my own, and this is outside of breaking. So I was into bodybuilding. I got into calisthenics. So I have to find a very mixed way of training. So I perform. So my regime is I first do breaking, then I do cardio. So there's 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours of breaking. Then it's 15, 30 minutes of cardio. Then I go do 30 minutes, 45 minutes of weight training. Then I do another 20, 30 minutes of calisthenics. This is rounding up to like 3-4 hours already. Then I'm in the sauna to burn off some more fat or recover the body. And nutrition is 5 to 6 days a week. It's on point. एक दिन तो बिरयानी खाना है, bro.
अच्छा, yeah, इसमें there's something that I really wanted to know. Since you guys didn't do breaking, I think that you guys need a specific body जिसमें fat percentage बहुत low होता है. But for the people who are actually doing bodybuilding and they're actually into breaking, even if their fat percentage is very low, but they have heavy muscle mass. तो उसमें difference आता है कुछ breaking में? If someone is like, they have the fat percentage is still low, but they have muscle mass.
Due to the muscle. Okay, so
because obviously you're putting up the weight, or even muscles as weight.
Yeah. So last year I had this scene. This actually happened to me. So I was training with Kevin Christie, and he told me, and I couldn't do some moves, certainly some moves well. I was doing freezes and I couldn't do them well. And he said the reason I can't do them well is because of the amount of muscle I have on my body. Because I wasn't lean. So then I had to trim down. So I lost weight. I brought the fat percentage down. But that doesn't just fix everything. You also have to train mobility and flexibility.
Yes, that's the other thing. Yes.
So now I've added, on top of everything I just told you, I've added yoga and mobility training to my training. So now I'm training like 6 hours a day. So you're off at 6:30. You train till 12. And then
this guy is already speaking hip hop, man. Like you like talking discipline.
Yeah, bro. The
I guess this is what you need. Even if you're not motivated, you need the discipline to move on.
Discipline is more important than motivation.
Yeah,
motivation goes away.
I guess you'll be motivated for just 2 days, 3 days, or maximum a week. But the discipline actually makes you go a long way.
Discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation will go away. Discipline
within 2 days. Discipline is whatever, no matter what, no matter.
Part of you.
It becomes part of you.
Yeah, discipline is something like no matter what you're feeling, you have to do it. You have to train. You have to train. Yeah.
You can't miss out on it.
Nice,
so, like,
nice.
When you, since discipline has been a part of you for a very long time, what was like, being part of the hip hop culture? And back then, if you go back in 2013, you all guys were figuring out, you were part of the breaking. But when you open up the picture and like, it's hip hop. What's hip hop?
That's hip hop. Okay. So, being very realistic, you're from back in the day, so if you weren't a b-boy, you were a nobody in this community. You had to be a b-boy. Rappers weren't welcome, poppers weren't welcome, even other dancers were not welcome. You had to be a b-boy, and if you weren't a b-boy, you weren't relevant to us or our scene. Outside of this, I learned more about hip hop very late into the game. I won't lie about it. I started learning that, rapping and beatboxing and graffiti, these are other parts of hip hop. And I started learning this when I think around 2018, 2019, maybe 2020, when Taishi took the initiative of, our culture and stuff. I knew these things existed. I knew they were under the umbrella of hip hop, but the importance of it opened up to me much later.
But मतलब ये चीज़ समझ नहीं आती. This is just for the viewers who are actually watching. Since hip hop has many different elements, b-boy, this beatboxing, and all of this are the elements. How do these elements actually connect with each other? मतलब how do you define this beatboxing and breaking comes into hip hop? What makes them connect with each other? So
I'll give you the best example. The godfather of hip hop. His name is DJ Kool Herc. He was a DJ. So, because DJing is the fundamental foundation of hip hop. Without DJing, and it's common sense. Without the music, how are you gonna, how are you gonna move? How are you gonna rap without music in the background?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So, now imagine a party, like a street corner party, and I'm talking like in the US, not out here. There's a DJ playing, and he's playing a beat, just a beat, and you have an MC, a host for the event, and while speaking to the crowd, while he's cheering up the crowd, he starts rhyming with the same words he's speaking. He starts making sounds, like he starts making beats when the music is down, when the music is low. He's just being creative on the mic. He's not doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, he's just feeling it and he's doing it. He's just trying to keep the audience hyped.
Yeah.
That's MCing. And that's one of the elements of hip hop.
Makes sense.
Okay.
And rapping, beatboxing, these come under the umbrella of MCing. And that's how
These
rapping.
they connect with each other, and that's how it
that's how
started. The
rapping
DJ
connects
actually
to
started with the beat
DJ.
and the people who were actually performing it.
And that's how it
Oh.
connects there. And then the people already dancing, so you got your breaking going on over there.
Yeah.
So that's how it all connects. It all happened in one place at the same time.
So since you you won the Redbull BC Cypher one, like what's next for you?
Right now, next is Paris and competing in Paris and representing Pakistan in Paris.
And
Nice.
winning.
Winning.
And winning. Not just
Inshallah.
representing and winning.
Giving your
Inshallah.
best, giving your
all the
best.
Yeah. I get to represent my country, my own hip hop community, my Christian community as well.
Wow.
So it's a big move for me. Hopefully everything works out. I'll be in Paris this year, and we'll give our best. We'll show people what Pakistan can do. That's
So,
how it's out.
since you actually won this Red Bull BC 2023 edition, how was the feeling actually lifting this trophy up?
If you watch the video of the win, I'm standing in the where the judge holds your hand and he's about to raise the winner's hand, and I'm conversing with my brother and Dwayne's wife from the audience, and they're saying you're going to win, and I'm telling them at that
And you're
time.
actually looking at those guys
And
over
I'm
there.
looking at them and I'm telling them, I'm not even paying attention to Dwayne or Masoom or anybody around me. I'm just looking at those two and I'm telling them I'm not going to win. I'm telling them Masoom's about to get the win. And when Dwayne raised my hand to watch the video, I'm just as surprised as anybody could have been. And then there was this rush of energy. And I didn't know what to do. I just ran.
What just happened?
That's
It's not like I stood there. I just ran. I ran around the stage. I threw water bottles. People came. It got crazy, man.
nice.
I can't even explain it. So many people rushed me at one time that I didn't have a minute to process that I won.
Since you've been consistently been participating in battles and there's win or lose. But if you talk about Mikhail, like I've seen you going into the battles. You've been quite trying hard and but you always been pushed back losing battles. Gonna be straight up with fact. When you were in this Red Bull BC one, and you told us that it's not about the winning, what was it like going this time with the mentality? What was the mindset like? Not just winning, like you said, it's not about the winning. Since you trained 210 days, and like what was it like into the finals with Masoom? Like since he
He won the previous year.
previous year.
So Masoom's been winning for the past 3 years. I don't think he's lost in a breaking battle where he's competed.
Yeah.
So when I was going into the battle, throughout, like I said, I was focused more on my performance than I was on the battle. I didn't care about the win. I only wanted to give a good performance in every round. There were a few things that I changed last minute before my first battle. So when we had the prelims, I felt like I didn't do well. And I felt like I could have been better. And I realized that going into the battle. And one day before the tournament, Nagin told us that I'm watching you from the minute you walk through the curtain. I'm keeping an eye on you. I want to see you hungry. I want to see your energy. I want to see that you're here to battle. And a long time ago, not long time ago, one year ago when I went to Dubai, Osam Kotala, again, 35 years of dancing experience.
Wow.
He came to judge our culture volume 5 too, all the way from Dubai.
Okay.
He told me, it's your obligation to dominate the next person in front of you. He said it to Kudesh when I was in Dubai. He said it to me. So these small pieces of advice going into the battle, I knew these are the things I need to make it better. So fast forward, I get into the battle. Just I think a day before, Naki Nix, who is not a B-boy, who competed at Red Bull BC, won though this year.
Now he's a B-boy, Naki.
I don't think he would be that, but yeah. He also said one thing. He said, you've already lost. So if you win tomorrow, it's just something you'll earn. But if you lose, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
The pressure was off going into the battle.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, these are the words that you need.
The pressure was off.
Yes,
So every
beautiful.
time I went out, I was smiling. I was trying to exchange my energy with my audience. I had my people there, so they were already on my side. But around the second round, every time I came out, I could feel the audiences with me. So my energy became their energy and their energy became mine. I felt like my battle had the most noise. My rounds had the most support. Like people wanted me to win. People who didn't know you want you to win. That's already you're already winning, and that's only
crazy.
because my focus was on the performance. And like I said, every round is the last round. What our breakers and our artists do here, they're trying to save. They're always trying to conserve energy. Conserving energy is actually a good thing, but they're always trying to save moves, conserve moves, not do anything big.
Yeah.
And last year I did the same thing and I lost in the first round in the top 16. And as an OG B-boy, I didn't take that very easily. So this year I said every round is my last round. If I can win one round, I'll think about the next one later. I don't need to worry about it now. And a day later when I met Nagin, before he could fly to China, he gave me the same advice for Paris. He said that first round is your last round. Every round is your last round.
Wow. Since you talked about the Dubai, and what was the experience for you guys went to Seoul DXB, right?
Yes.
How was the experience there, and what kind of people did you met, and especially about hip hop, man?
Seoul DXB was a different experience. Of course, they have pop artists there too. But there is so much hip hop. You wouldn't believe there are rappers there whose start in this career is breaking. There are DJs there whose start in the career is breaking. There are videographers there they've all stopped. But the starting of their career is breaking. There are all style dancers there, hip hop freestyle dancers there. It is so amazing. And they are so welcoming. मतलब मेहमान नवाजी इन लोग को करने आता है bro दुबई में. Waleed WXB, he was with us throughout. He drove us around all the time. He took us all the way to Abu Dhabi to train in Berkeley with a bunch of other hip hop artists like Doris and I know y'all don't know who these people are, but these are like the dancers who are battling out there in Dubai right now.
Okay.
And we were training with these people.
Yeah.
And Seoul taught me. And one thing I will say that everyone needs to experience if they go abroad and they get into this hip hop scene, which even Dania experienced when she went to New York. She said, no one's judging her. You don't feel judged. You can be free with it. And so I felt the same at Seoul. You could do whatever you want. People just want you to have a good time. But that Cypher energy is different, bro. They're like ciphering every 2 minutes. 2 minutes in, and it's a dance party. These people are at parties and they're ciphering. The circle gets formed, one after the other, one after the other. It stops for 5 minutes, circle is formed, one after the other, one after the other. Stops for 2 minutes, again a new circle is formed, one after the other. This is how they're dancing. And like they're not like our dance parties. No one's dancing like this, or nodding their head like that. No, these guys are dancing. They're all moving. They're all in the zone. They're all stepping. Some of them are top rocking. Some of them are footworking. And in the center, like no one cares.
I think
you hurt somebody. You gotta you see a dancer dancing and you feel like it's too much for you. You gotta back off. Let them dance.
I really love that part that no one is judging you there.
No one is judging you there.
That's the best part. You can
So
be
there
yourself.
was-
Yeah.
I met this guy and I don't remember his name. He's Pakistani too.
Yeah.
He used to be in a band out here in Pakistan. I don't know if he still practices music over there. He came to Seoul just to meet us. He's Sid's friend. He's Khudesh's friend. And he's a good guy. I mean, I know him too, but I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
And he's not a dancer. And he's like this, he's a little healthy. And you know how overweighted people usually feel out here in Pakistan. They're always feeling a little demoralized.
Yeah.
But he came
Body
to
shaming in
Seoul.
Pakistan.
We got him into the after party. And bro, he was lit. He was dancing so openly. He had so much fun. When the party ended, he said, bro, this was a different experience. He said, I never thought I would get this out
No
here.
one is actually judging you. Yeah.
A place where you want to get your.
You can just have fun, man. No one
That's
will say a
amazing.
word to you.
That's amazing.
No one is judging you.
Acha,
No one will say
since
funny.
you talked about that guy, obviously Pakistan mein kitna body shaming hai and stuff like that. There's something that I wanted to ask, if you don't mind. We're actually living in this society where people judge based on our body weight that we have, body shaming hai, and the skin color that we have. So throughout your journey, as per your career, your passion in breaking, other than that, how do you feel in your society? Like, for example, the skin color that you have, do you feel threatened sometimes? Do you feel that people are mocking you? How do you feel about that?
So I'll tell you, I have so many backstories to everything, man. It's hilarious.
But if you feel comfortable talking about
yeah,
this.
it's fine. I have no problem talking about this because now it's I've gone through that phase. I'm already
Big
over
lad.
it. But you're right. This is a very common culture in Pakistan. You know, body shaming and and coming after someone's skin tone in racism. It's racism. It's bluntly racism. You can't do that. But it's such common practice here that it happens very often.
Yeah.
In my career, I felt it very less because as a dancer, specifically my career as a dancer, I felt it very less because I was always, as a dancer, usually in the background. You're never in the lead. And I don't think up till now I've seen a brown-skinned lead performer in a music video or in a TV show or anything. I don't think I've seen them. Or in these big-time Pakistani films, I've never seen a lead brown artist right in the front of the movie or right in the front in one of the dance numbers. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
As a dancer, you're usually in the background. It will never come to you like that in a dance career. Moving it to the society, I remember being very young and all my friends always coming after me about my career. So even my hair, today it's tied up, but I have very curly hair. But you're so practiced to this norm in Pakistan. So you're like, person with curly hair, nowadays it's a thing. But embracing that back then, you would brush your hair, bro. You would try to
Straighten them as
much as possible. Always try to look on point.
Yeah.
Your skin tone, I mean, stupid shit, man. You tried 10 different face washes trying to clear up your skin tone because people are bullying you so much. You're hearing it so constantly. Luckily, I learned from my father a long time ago that he was very straightforward and blunt and he cared very less about what people said or thought about him. I got that from him and at a very young age, and I'm talking in my teens because that's when everything starts bothering you the most.
Yeah.
Towards my teens, I really stopped caring. And then I think in 2021, and I got the call for the modeling gig where Pakistan started becoming diverse with, having brown models and brown actors and brown faces in front. And they were doing it with females and males in certain parts of the country. Lahore has Rasta. They only have brown models most of the time. When I got the call the first time, I was like, oh shit, okay, this is not just good for me. This is good for anybody who comes after me. Somebody who actually wants to model, they could see this and think, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
I was never thinking of modeling. And I'm still, I do it, but I was never thinking about it. It was never like, this is going to be a career move for me.
Wow.
I just got a call one day for the Shalwar Kameez thing. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then it kept happening. And even now, I just did one on Saturday.
Wow.
Oh, that's
For a
great.
new brand. I'm wearing the clothes also. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
man.
That's pretty cool.
We're so glad, man. That you keep growing in the field that you've never thought of, and you like, let's say, breaking the bias. You're breaking the bias, and I think a lot of people can maybe in the future, in the following future,
I
maybe
hope it
getting
inspires
motivated.
somebody. I'm always looking to just inspire. I don't need to inspire the whole country or the whole
Yeah.
world. You
I
just
guess
need
this,
to inspire one person.
Impact. It's all
That
about the
impact has to be on one person. That
Yeah.
he sees you, he says he can do it. Even if they're thinking I can do it better, at least they finally believe they can do it.
It's a win.
It's a win.
And let's go back to towards the concept of hip hop from the streets. I would love to know, since you went to Dubai, and let's talk about what's the difference between the hip hop street in Pakistan and the hip hop street in
Dubai?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I had never been abroad before. So, battling out here on Pakistani streets, it's not funny.
Yeah.
You will get hurt a lot.
Real bad,
and I do
man.
windmills and backspins and flares on these roads.
Yeah.
I think I've even done a headspin once, twice, and I have never cared.
On the roads?
On the road, bro. I've never
Nice.
cared. And I have of course, there's no video footage of this because we did this back in the day before studios or anything was a thing.
Yeah.
But we were never scared. And when I went to Dubai, I realized very quickly because when the place where Soul DXB happened, it was a expo center. Like think of it as expo center. But not everything is cemented. You have that rough tar on the ground. But nothing was hurting. Either my body toughened up, either the roads are not as rough as what Karachi has to offer, bro.
It made you a soldier.
You were like, this is easy. Come to Karachi and the road will kill you. Dancing on the road, man.
Nice.
But I will say the culture is more welcoming than ours is. We're still a very growing young culture, even though it's been 15 years for me and probably a lot more years for the culture because hip hop came to Pakistan in the 80s or the 70s.
Yeah.
It was already here.
Yeah.
It was just not a big scene.
Exactly.
And it died out and started again in the 2000s.
Mm.
But they are very welcoming. And we still have a lot more maturity is the right word. We still need to learn to be more mature
Mature.
in regards
Accepting.
to hip-hop. More accepting.
Yeah.
More welcoming. More cheering people on, man.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to do anything, you just got to support.
Support.
And
Yeah.
that's what this culture is. You always have to support each other.
Yeah.
Be it a rapper, be it a beatboxer, anybody who's doing anything, just keep supporting.
Yeah.
Make noise even if it's not making sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to. That guy just has to feel like, okay, I'm welcomed here. I can do my thing.
Yeah.
The minute he feels it, game is on.
Game is.
Like my brother, and I know this, like I'm dragging a lot of stories.
Hey,
My
this is
brother
the best part.
recently, he had DJ'd two of my events
Yeah.
in 2021. But in now in 2023, he recently DJ'd at Khudesh's event.
Yeah.
And he was DJing for the all-style battles and the breaking battles.
Mm-hmm.
He comes home and he told his friend,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been DJing for a long time. For
Acha.
like parties, commercial parties, mostly in our community, my Christian community.
Mm-hmm.
And he came home and he said, I think I finally found my audience. So you imagine how welcomed he felt to our culture. That means we did something right.
Mm.
We did something.
We did something right that day.
Absolutely.
Now, to copy paste that every time is at the real challenge.
Yeah.
Every time someone comes, they have to feel that welcome.
Yes.
Whether they're from Karachi, whether they're from Italy,
Mm.
we have to make them feel that welcomed every time.
Absolutely agreed, man. That's true. Like, welcoming them, feeling them like home. That's the best part of it. Or
It has to feel like home, bro.
True.
Any element of
1,000
hip hop,
times,
any artist steps into, it has to feel like home.
Feel
For a
like
rapper,
home.
that has to be his home. That has to be everything to him.
yes. You have a
I
question?
guess let's talk about your the challenging journey that is coming ahead. You'll be competing internationally and you'll be going to Paris. So we have to talk about that. So how's your preparation?
Well, I'm training now 5 days a week still.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's 6 hours of training every day
Mm-hmm.
with yoga, mobility training. We're doing weightlifting, we're doing calisthenics, we're doing cardio.
Mm-hmm.
Weightlifting, we're doing less because right now, breaking is more important.
Mm.
So where breaking used to be 1-2 hours a day, it's gone to 3 hours. And then everything else has to fit into 3 hours.
Mm.
And that's the main priority first.
So,
Stretching has to be done a lot. It's really hectic at this point in time.
mm.
The training is not going to be easy.
Mm.
Because I'll be battling for the first time
Yeah.
internationally. I have never battled internationally. Even though I went to Dubai, I never battled anybody.
Mm.
Oh.
This might be something really big for you.
And new.
And
Yeah,
I'm going to
really
France,
new.
bro. The
Yeah.
worst.
Crazy.
Not
When
the
are you,
worst, but
when
the
are you
most
going? When's the
crazy.
tournament
proud
happening?
dancers
Yeah.
in the world are
True.
France.
B-boy,
So tell us something about that tournament. When that tournament is starting.
Redbull BC 1. Okay, so Redbull BC 1 right now is having these ciphers all around the world, around
Yeah.
30, 32 countries.
Mm.
They'll be picking 32 B-boys and 32 B-girls to go to Paris. In Paris, we are not in the world final. We are right now in the last chance cypher, is what I know of. So we will first go and we will have a prelim. Of course, we'll be there 2-3 days early.
So we have like 32 countries at this point of time.
Competing together,
they'll be
yeah.
competing in Paris, all
in
the 32
Paris.
countries.
All 32
Yeah.
countries.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
Pakistan is going to be one of those 32 countries.
Beautiful.
And we will first have a prelim amongst those 32 dancers. And out of 32, they'll pick 16. Those 16 will battle in the last chance cypher. Out of those 16, 5 or 10 will get selected for the world final.
Mm.
And the rest are all wildcards coming either from the last chance cypher or from other countries.
So how
like
many
B-boys who are
wild-
performing on a very high level will get the wildcard straight to the world final.
So wild final में कितनी wild card entries हैं? How many wild card do we have?
Yeah, I
you
don't know
have
a
any?
specific count. Last year they had more. They had like 6-7 wildcard entries.
Okay.
And then from the last chance, they picked up 10-8 B-boys.
I see.
Maybe less than 10 because 6-7 का और से आ रहा है तो 16.
So among these 5 to 10 finalists, so इसमें क्या knockout होता है? किस तरह? Like
So
how
let me
does
tell
that
you
go?
this.
Yeah,
So,
give us the
this is
idea
how it
of the
works.
whole.
So out of the 32, first you have the prelim, right?
Mm.
We all get one round. So when I go to Paris, I have only one round to get to the next qualifier.
Okay.
I mess up that round, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You clear that round, now you're in the qualifier. Now you're in the top 16 for the last chance cypher. From here, in the 16th, it's all knockouts. One guy wins. He goes to the world final. He's won. He will be in the world final. Now, you're talking about the remaining 15.
Mm.
In 15 people, what you have to do is you just have to perform very well. If you perform very well, out of 15, they pick 5, 6 or 10 more to go to the world final. So win or lose, you can go to the world final from the last chance, but you have to do well in the last chance cypher. You do well there, even if you're out in the first round, you might get the wild card because you performed so well and they want you on that stage. So that's it.
I see. So when is this tournament happening?
This happens 2 or 3 days before the world final. World final is on October 21st. October 21st. This will probably happen on the 19th or the 18th.
So it's happening in France on October.
Yeah, in Paris.
Nice. So you have like around what 5 months to practice to give your
now May is
blood and
over, so
wine.
I'm thinking 4 months is left.
June, July, August, September. Yeah, you just have 4 months, man.
4 months, bro.
So, okay, like, this is the best part of the podcast and we would love to do it. And we're gonna, we're gonna play this video like probably after 5 years or 10 years again. Let's just, talk about where do you see hip hop in the next 5 years?
In Pakistan?
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, last year after the Redbull BC won Cypher, no one was practicing, no one was really excited about anything. And I think for 1 year we were really quiet until this year. I feel like now the community is in a very positive place. And I'm going to do everything in my power because I think I have the opportunity to bring more awareness to my community. We need to have more jams. We need to have more battles, more sit-down sessions, especially like the community doesn't sit down with each other. For the first time in a long time, we all sat down for the screening of Redbull BC 1 on 10 Sports.
Wow.
The whole breaking community we sat down.
Nice.
Barkat was there, Street Dreamers crew, Chemistry crew. I mean, I was the only one from EXD. But then you have Anarchy coming in too. And there's no personal reason. EXD was busy. They had to go to work. But everybody else was there. We were all there for the first time in a long time. Everybody just sat down. And or such baat ye hai, chai session is just as important as attending the jam. You have to connect with each other on a personal level.
Yeah.
And I feel like the community is in a very positive place. They're very happy with how well BC1 happened. They feel like they've received some level of exposure. I mean, 10 Sports, when I was young, I used to watch wrestling on 10 Sports. Today, I was on 10 Sports. So
Beautiful.
they all felt the same thing.
No, that's great. That's a
breakthrough,
thing. That's a thing.
Crazy.
So I really think we're in the right direction. If we stay in this direction in the next 10 years, hip hop will blow up in Pakistan. But we have to stay on this direction. And Pakistan has a history of not staying in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, I'm talking about hip hop.
Yeah.
Don't take this in the wrong sense,
exactly.
please.
I went that way too. like, I was like, oh, wait.
गलत नहीं समझना है इसको, मैं सिर्फ हिप हॉप की बात कर रहा हूँ.
मुझे वोट दो.
अच्छा मैं एक चीज कनेक्ट कर रहा था since you were saying that in the beginning that once you were competing in Red Bull BC तो एक बंदे ने आके he said something to you and all your pressure was down there कि जीतना है तो जीतना है वरना कोई मसला नहीं अगली बारी है something like that. Since you're actually going to Paris, is there anyone going along with you? Because what I believe, when you're actually competing on international forums, you need some people with you. You need mentors with you, so they could, lower you down, or they could give you the motivation.
See, the point is, he's been like breaking like for like 15 years, so he's the OG. So I wouldn't say a mentor, but more like someone
who could support you with the words.
So, like I said, the culture is very welcoming abroad.
Yeah,
again, but France, I don't know about. I've heard they have the most. Some of the best and most aggressive
Scariest.
dancers. Like they will not, like if you're wasting time on the floor, they'll be like, okay, you got to move. This is what I've heard. I'm not sure. Maybe they are like this. But they are some of the best dancers.
They're brutal, man.
They are
Really
they
brutal.
take this very seriously. Very seriously.
True.
And I'll be going with hopefully Beagle Shah.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, we'll have one a chaperone with us. That's all I know. Other than that, I don't know what the plans are. Of course, I won't lie and say that the people who want to support me aren't trying to make it through. Believe me when I tell you that. People want to come through to watch the BC1 Cypher because I'm going. I've got cousins in the UK saying, I want to come to the Cypher. And my cousin, literally, I messaged her and I said, I don't know anything yet myself because we're in the beginning stages, right?
Yeah.
And she already looked up the date. She's like, I know the date and everything.
Yeah.
Just let me know what to do. And I said, I'll let you know as soon as I know. And then I've got people out here in Pakistan. In Pakistan, going without a sponsor, I don't even know if it's possible. But they are like, okay, we want to go because you're going.
Because you're going. I guess this would make a big difference for you. That's
amazing.
this thing will actually motivate you.
You know, that's
Yeah, it would,
you know,
man.
just
Yeah.
not like, you know,
I've got friends who are Pakistani in the UK, one in Portugal, Cyril Soul James.
Oh, yeah.
I've got people. I recently one dancer came from Italy.
Mm.
He said the same thing. They've all been messaging me, bro. Let us know the dates.
We'll
We're all
come
coming
along.
through to
Yeah,
Paris.
beautiful,
Nice.
man.
I was like, wow, man.
Nice.
Okay, so like the best part, like now we've come to the part. Let's manifest. I want to know where Mikhail see himself in the next 5 and 10 years, and what do you want basically? What do you want to achieve, or what do you want to earn in the next 5 or 10 years or so?
I'd say one thing. I've always patted myself on the back for the fact that I have a very strong will
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to something I want to do.
Mashallah.
And that's the only thing I've always been grateful for. Because you always have to be grateful regardless of anything that bad happens.
Mm.
What I'm really happy about is even today, tomorrow, if I don't have this, I want ultimate discipline. That's all I want.
Mm.
Because if I have that, I'll never stop. Whether I succeed or I fail, I'll never stop if I have ultimate discipline.
That's
And that's all I need. I just need better and more discipline.
Mhm.
I don't want anything else. This was the dream. The dream has happened.
Oh, okay.
What's next is on, now everything's just on top. Everything I receive from here is on top. And of course, I will do my best to receive more, but not just for me. Because this opens doors, bro. When you meet the right people, you talk, you network with the right people, you make that connection. You're not just representing yourself. Now you're opening doors for everybody in Pakistan.
Mm.
And if I can go there and bring back the culture for Pakistan, that's everything I want to do. I want to bring back everything that I learn and everything that I can do for my hip hop community in Pakistan, regardless of all the issues the community has.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, we stay united, only then something good's going to happen.
Yeah.
So this is my idea. This is what I want to do.
Mm. Nice.
I hope everyone learns and earns this this discipline. Like it's for like would be better for the community as well.
It would be, bro.
Yeah, and we were excited, and best of luck and best wishes for the France as well, man.
Thanks, man.
And we're looking forward to that. We hope you do good, not just representing Pakistan but also representing EXD. That would be the most greatest things. And I would love to see some happy tears in Dwayne's eyes. Yeah, like you know what I mean, man. So like I would love to see that. Like we made it. Like we made it. So and is there any question? Like, do you have any question? Like
We can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, वो B-boy the top.
like वो तो करते हैं. They like now I've got the
हाँ,
questions. Yeah.
वो बोलो.
एक तो वो चलो ये आखिरी में करते हैं. What if you guys like go for the Olympics, right? And what would be the best? Let's just not talk about Olympics.
You want to make a team.
Your favorite top.
You want to make a team for top 10 B-boys.
boys or to compete in any, I think, super crew or something like that.
So, firstly, in the Olympics, I think the competition is solo. There's no
Yeah.
team. I don't
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
Okay. And the qualifiers for the Olympics mostly are happening in different countries. And not like within the country, it's happening international battles. Like people from America are traveling to different countries to compete for the qualifier.
Oh,
I think that's how it's working. I'm not very clear on this.
so there will be other B-boys will be coming to Pakistan to compete.
No, that's not what I meant. The
Okay.
competitions are being held like in Holland.
Okay.
So people from the US are going to Holland to qualify for the Olympics.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
American b-boys are competing in Holland to go for the Olympics. But this is just an example. Again,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't know how exactly this is working. Regardless of that, if
Yeah.
I have to put a team together
Yeah.
to go and compete abroad internationally, now you're talking like Battle of the Year or the IB
Yeah.
to represent Pakistan or whatever, I would always choose Dwayne would be there.
Mm-hmm.
Udesh Azim Gulzar will be there. Taishi.
That's true.
You have Brandon D'Souza because
Okay.
he is a massively great b-boy.
Mm-hmm.
If you see him in his prime, he's on a different level. I need Kevin Tyler Christie.
Mm.
That's 4. I myself am 5. Masoom from Chemistry Crew.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Masoom.
6.
Running out of b-boys in Pakistan, man. I would take Lil Z from Street Dreamers crew. I would take
Alian.
Hope
Hope.
Oh,
from Street Dreamers crew.
That's it.
Alian is the future, so he's gonna be there. And
Definitely.
you're right, Alian is like, we're at 9. And then it really, I think my last pick would be Buran, because Buran girl.
Oh,
Skyhead,
yes,
Skyhead.
yeah. Skyhead, yeah.
Not for anything, because I really enjoy Buran's company. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would like Buran to be there with me.
Nice.
So this will be your
Nice.
top 10 B-boys
Nice.
from Pakistan.
Would you like to ask?
So your best moves.
No.
What message do you have for the other B-boys?
The young ones.
The young ones, or for the ones who's currently doing, any message for that reflects the whole culture, community?
Just train. And don't stop. We are here right now to build something and give back to y'all. So y'all don't stop and don't worry.
Yeah.
At our time, there was nobody.
Mm.
Now we are there. Redbull BC 1 happened because we were there, right?
Yeah.
I have had, and I've said it again and again, I've had constant meetings with Red Bull for last year's BC 1. I played quite a role in helping develop the scene and have Red Bull BC 1. I've had the meetings on how the stage had to be built. I was in the meetings for how the event had to be planned out.
Wow.
Who was coming, I already knew before they arrived. How the event had to go, I had a lot to do with it. So I'm telling you, and I'm not just speaking for myself, and I'm not trying to say give me credit for the fact that I helped bring Red Bull BC 1 last year. I'm trying to say that the people like me who are willing to do this right now. So the young guns, just train and don't worry. Things like this we'll take care of till our time is up.
So it's a collective thing. You just
Collective
train.
thing,
It's a
yeah, yeah.
collective thing. Yeah.
Just keep training. That's it.
And I did write this question like, ये तो हो गया था. Yeah, question has been done. Let's go about, we were talking about that mentality of when you go into the battles. I think we didn't that kind of question, like, I think we did that with that warrior perspective.
Yeah, you just go there and you just want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. Like, when it comes to the other dance forms, that's like more like, just dancing. Like, but when it comes to the breaking, why it's always competitive?
I don't think it's just breaking. I think it's any form of hip hop that's competitive. Rap battling is competitive. Beatbox battles are competitive. Hip hop freestyle battles are also very competitive. And Cyril told me this firsthand because he competed at World of Dance. He's competed at Red Bull Dance Your Style twice. He's already a Pakistani who's done this internationally.
Yeah.
So, and Khudesh has been to a international battle in Dubai too. It's just how this is. Now, these are two different kinds of dances. Cyril is in hip hop freestyle. When Khudesh battled, he battled as a breaker. It's always competitive. Hip hop is a warrior art because it came from freedom of speech. The people who, let's say, the people who created hip hop, this was their way of being free, their way of conveying messages that they wanted to convey to the world. So this is why this art is like this. So every time you battle, it's your last round. It's your obligation to kill the guy in front of you, or female, whoever it may be. It doesn't matter. It's your obligation. You have to battle with everything you have.
Yeah.
And don't worry about, like I said, don't worry about the next round. Get that round finished with.
What's it's like to be on the stage?
Of Red Bull BC 1 Pakistan.
Any stage.
When
Showing
you
your art,
have
when you're on
any
the
kind of
stage,
an
showing your
obsession
art.
with the stage, like you feel the power, you feel that energy when you go on the stage. What's it like to be on the
I've battled a lot.
stage?
And I've only battled very well twice. So in 15 years of battling, even I know I've only battled well twice. And both times, I don't think the stage had a lot to do with it. It had a lot to do with my energy being portrayed out there to my audience. And I only feel it from the audience. So if the audience is with me, only then I know I can bring the battle.
Yeah.
And if I don't bring that energy, then the audience is not going to be on my side either.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I don't think the stage has ever made a difference. It might make a difference if I step on the world final stage. That'll be a whole other feeling. But for the first BC 1 Cypher, when it came last year, it was a different feeling, man. It was the first time you stepped on stage, you're like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
We're here now.
It's already written there in the center, right? Redbull BC 1 Cypher.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you're looking into the ground and like doing the moves.
There's a video of me kissing the ground in one of my rounds because I knew I was winning.
Oy. Beautiful,
Nice,
yeah.
beautiful.
Amazing, man. Like if you move forward towards life, like okay, like it's more like a question not towards now towards hip hop. Like, do you see yourself like as a professional breaker in the following years rather than your 9 to 5 jobs? If you get a chance,
If I could make that full time and just earn enough to live, like
From breaking.
from breaking, and just like get basic necessities done.
So you would give up your 9 to 5?
That's all I need, man.
Like-
Just pay rent, buy food. That's all I need. Forget all the extra things.
Yeah.
For instance, if you're doing breaking and you're getting an amount through which you can live a normal life, do your expenses,
Yeah, I'll
and
ditch
on
everything.
the other hand, you have something a massive opportunity, 9 to 5 massive opportunity. What would
I'll
you
choose
do?
breaking.
That's
Every
what
time.
passion-
Every day,
yeah,
Every time,
day.
every time, man.
Turning a passion into a profession.
Of course, yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, another random question. Like, what kind of music do you listen to, and what would be your top 5 artists?
Okay, so I listen to music
What kind of music?
very often, but I don't listen to a lot of hip hop music. So that's the first thing.
Oh, what genre do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of metal
Okay, the metalhead.
or pop rock, or I listen to Hindi music. Nowadays, I'm listening to a lot of Tamil music,
Oh,
and then mostly pop music. I barely listen to hip hop music, like full fledged hip hop music. Like, I barely listen to rap, or I'll barely listen to break beats.
okay. So, what are your top
5 artists?
Yeah.
At number 1, I'll have Michael Jackson. He's
MJ.
forever. Then I have James Brown.
Ah,
Then I have Bruno Mars.
third.
I have Machine Gun Kelly, which
Oh,
is a very
Machine Gun Kelly,
unpopular
wow.
opinion.
Yeah,
Machine Gun
like
Kelly.
people get like, hey, you're supposed to love Eminem. Why not? That. the
I know,
scenario,
man.
Yeah,
And my last pick will be a band called All American Rejects.
I haven't heard of them.
All
but
American?
I gotta listen.
Rejects.
So is it
Pop
is it
rock.
अच्छा,
Pop
pop
rock.
What's a
rock?
pop rock?
rock,
I see.
Okay, nice.
That's it. These 5.
चलो अब थोड़ा local सवाल हो जाए. Like, are you a biryani lover?
I'm good with biryani.
Give us the top 5 names that you love the most, like the best 5 biryanis that you ever had from different
In
restaurants.
Karachi.
In Karachi?
Yeah.
Wherever, yeah, man. You can tell us wherever the rest.
I think Al Naz has very good biryani. Al Naz, Mahmoodabad wala.
Okay.
That's top notch biryani. I think that's the best biryani you can have. After that, I don't know अगर आप लोगों ने कभी खाया है, रोलिन पे टिक्का बिरयानी मिलता है
Nice.
बोर्ड बेसन पे.
Nice.
Rollin
Okay.
at Board Basin,
Okay.
they make some of the best tikka biryani I've ever eaten.
Okay.
Acha.
Yeah. Then you have, I think, Al Rahman is pretty good. Tower wala jo hai. Al Rahman is very good. And iske baad, you have Indus. I like Indus's biryani. Indus food.
Oh.
Indus foods.
Okay.
And यार इतनी जगह है कराची में. I don't know more biryani places honestly. अगर पता भी है तो मुझे अच्छे नहीं लगते. Like students तो मैं खाता नहीं हूँ.
That's too.
Do you really like biryani? Is there anything else apart from biryani that you prefer? मतलब कोई what's your favorite food?
पाकिस्तानी खाना.
हाँ. मतलब कुछ भी anything. It could be continental or anything. What's your first go?
I'll prefer rice, any kind of rice and any kind of protein. So like it's just
Yeah, he's into fitness now. He just
no,
need
but
to
I
maintain.
like how the food tastes
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
So like protein, vegetables, and rice is more than enough for me.
Did you calculate your body count by yourself? Or did
My
you-
body fat.
No body count, like before for your diet, like you're.
I'm a professional fitness trainer. I'm
Oh.
qualified.
Nice. Really?
Plus, I'm a professional chef. I'm qualified for both these jobs.
Bro,
Mm.
that's new to me.
So I already have nutrition and fitness there, right there.
Oi.
So yes, I'm already in an
I
advantage.
saw his pictures like God, you know, the 6, you have the 6
Yeah.
6 packs.
Yeah.
Six abs. Nice.
There's a reason for
Crazy.
that. I already have this on lock.
Crazy,
So this was not really difficult. I've learned everything. I've spent a lot of money learning these things.
Amazing.
So that's how I know it.
Amazing.
So I can count my body fat. I know my weight. I know what to eat, and I know how to stay in shape.
Okay.
The other love I
That's
have
where the discipline
outside.
comes
Yeah.
from, man. That's
The other love I
amazing.
have outside of breaking is probably fitness.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Like that's, I think biryani was probably the wrong question to ask.
Yeah.
Like, which are the best? What was the question that what is called that? That
Actually, there's one thing that I wanted to ask because मेरा जो childhood है, that's into the Christian community. I've studied from St. Paul's, so all of my friends are mostly Christians. So I don't know if you'll feel comfortable answering this or not, but I really wanted to ask you this, and the people who are actually watching really want to hear this. As being Pakistani is a majority Muslim country, you being a Christian and living in Pakistan,
Yeah.
do you face that minorities are not welcoming or not welcomed here? Or do you think that as being a Christian or other religion, people who are Hindus or Christians, do you think that they're left out here in this country in Pakistan? Or do you think that no, the Pakistan, the country treats everyone equally?
This is a really political
Because
question.
I know most of my friends are Christian because I have heard
Hey,
stories.
let's not talk about.
I'll
Like,
give-
if you want to answer,
I've never experienced something वैसे personally. I'll be very straightforward and honest. I've never experienced anything personally, like anybody specifically holding me back because I'm not from a certain religion.
Okay.
But I've heard stories. That's the best I'll tell you. मेरे साथ नहीं हुआ है. तो बस I
yeah.
think that's all I'll say on this topic.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
There's not more
Beautiful.
I want to say.
Makes
Beautiful.
sense.
Makes sense.
And the last and the least.
I guess मेरा तो हो गया.
हो गया आपका
If you
exam.
have anything to ask, go
Yeah,
ahead.
this is the biggest question that you hate the most.
No, because
This
I have
is
actually
like-
because I have actually heard stories. I'm from St. Paul's. I have heard quite corporate stories, and these are something that we really want to put forward because of the mentality that we have. Because we talked about the skin color, so I think that we need to leave all this bullcrap behind and just work together and move
Respect
forward.
other
Yeah,
religion.
respect other religion,
I
respect
think
other colors and each of everything.
People who do not do that, either they do not know what's like, the basic understanding of being human. That's as simple as that we can come from. And if they,
I guess this is something that we actually find in our country. This is something.
yeah, just cannot relate it to it because obviously, I've never, but yeah, seriously, I cannot relate to that because I've never heard kind of stories. Except I saw some videos though, but I just this is so dark. This topic is so freaking dark that if we dig it down, it's
It's a deep hole.
It's a deep hole.
deep
But
hole.
I guess we are progressing. We are going towards the good. Greater good.
There is like
Yeah.
It's the younger generation.
Yeah.
You need to also understand that they're more
aware.
woke. They're more
Yes,
woke.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
yeah.
the best
Things
part.
Yeah.
will get better in this
Hopefully.
aspect.
Inshallah.
Exactly.
I
Inshallah.
believe so.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Do you have what?
Yeah, the best question is always there on the board.
Yeah.
How was
your
experience?
experience with EncycloMedia and anything that you want to share?
I think it's a very good experience, and I hope you guys get a more massive audience because y'all have this. Y'all are willing to bring in a lot of people who don't
Yeah.
even. You're not bringing in famous people all the time.
Exactly.
You're not looking for somebody who has followers who'll bring you followers. You're not looking for somebody who has subscribers who'll bring you subscribers. Y'all are looking for people who actually have art.
Yeah.
And more art to offer. I'm actually a little disappointed. Y'all have called me so late. After I won this, I feel
What
like
time? What
I
time?
had to win this to get
We
here.
are actually recording
I
and
had
the
a
time.
conversation with you in that squared box
I
in Club
remember.
432. Like, wait, man, let's just get done with Redbull BC one. And
Anyway,
we're getting podcast.
no, but that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand. There was an audience to build. You want an audience to see the real artist at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are doing a great job, and I've had a great experience.
We are glad.
And
We're glad. Thank you
And
so
I'm
much for the
very
kind
good with
words.
this again.
yeah, and the best part of like I'm not exaggerating about complimenting our podcast, but what we love to do more, what we love to do in this podcast is about like manifesting. What we talking about today, what we are talking today, inshallah it will come true tomorrow, and that's what we strongly believe in. It's
Yeah,
like
the what-
giving energy to the artist back what he's giving here today on the video, even though people will consider it as a video, but for us it's more like let's plan this stuff today. This is the conversation that we have, like you had with Dwayne or Sikandar, or you were the talks, like those talks, like this talk might be seen by a lot of people, right? But
See,
it's for everyone.
in Pakistan, obviously, since you talked about that we're not hungry for subscribers or for the views, this is what we're doing. So, what we're doing, we're actually finding the right talent because we have a lot of talent, a lot of art in Pakistan.
we do.
And our audience doesn't know it.
Exactly.
Most of our audience doesn't know about hip hop. Most of our audience doesn't know about breaking. So, guys who are watching, this is Mikhail. He's actually the winner of Redbull BC 1, and now he's actually competing in Paris, and he'll be competing against 32 people from all over the world. So whoever is watching, do support him because what he wants, he actually wants the support. Since he
And
was telling
represent
you, we don't have the audience.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't have the audience, because we are cricket lovers.
Yeah.
For example, lo, Babar and Rizwan playing, and there's no one to support. Do you think that they can give their best? So we have Mikhail sitting here. So if we actually give your support, and so Mikhail can do something. So do give your love, and hopefully we'll be seeing him competing in Paris. And we
Inshallah.
wish you all the best.
All the
We
best.
are with you.
Thank you very much.
We are with you.
And बस मेरी तरफ से हो गया.
Sign off.
that हो गया. Thank you.
So guys,
कर लो.
outro भी देना जरूरी है हमारा. So since you guys watch this podcast obviously, and as promised, as committed, coming with the new guests every time, coming with the with the new perspective, with new kind of manifestation, obviously with the guest, and obviously see you guys next time. Allah Hafiz.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye bye.